Why I feel in the face of all the problems in the world impotent, and why I somehow cannot manage to transform I. Now here we get to the real problem, because we're always telling each other that we should be different. Now I'm not going to tell you that tonight. Why not? Because I know you can't. Nor can I. That may sound depressing, but I'll show you it isn't. It's very hard. But everybody, you see, who is at all sensitive and awake to their own problems and human problems is trying to change himself. We know we can't change the world unless we change ourselves. So when we are aware of the ego I, we are aware of this chronic tension inside ourselves. And that's not us. It's a futile tension. So when we get the illusion, the image of ourselves, married to a futile tension, you've got an illusion married to a futility. And then you wonder why I can't do anything.
Good morning! Welcome everybody to today's live stream. Today we're going to have a little co-host, Sun Shark. He's a good boy, in theory. You don't know him. Anyway, let's talk about Bitcoin, shall we? And we're going to do so by looking at all the top TradingView ideas to truly determine the optimal Bitcoin strategy. When we look at a chart, the first thing we see is an ascending channel. Where is located an ascending wave 1 through 5? Jesus. Alright, where to start? 7 ascending levels. Oh, we have 7 arbitrarily drawn trend lines, which... Nobi, come back. No! Nobi! Trying to run away. You can't let that happen. That's bad. Comments? Nope. Okay, we're good. Okay, so strong bullish support. Man, this really grinds my gears. Only one downward resistance, dude. This is so arbitrary and so subjective, and it has 22,000 views. Okay, next up. What do we got here? Everybody's, well, some people are predicting down. Altcoin shopping time is here. I can agree with that. Market cap Bitcoin dominance. All right. Actually, you know what? I agree with his bias. Just not because of the shapes he's drawn. All right, look at this trend line. He just goes straight through price action. Actually, I want to open up that chart. Hold on, watch this. Full featured chart, please. You got a small noodle in my lap. He's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. All right. Sorry. It's just really hot out today. All right, we're gonna take a look at that 4-hour chart. Was he on the daily? I don't remember what he was doing. All right, well, we got the market cap dominance. Ah, this is so aesthetic. Okay, look at how well ACAT defines compression ranges on market cap Bitcoin dominance. That's insane. And then you have this long signal here, the comprehensive net expansion. Okay, watch this. We knew the breakout was right here on this candle. Right here. All right, that was our buy signal. Right? CCI is weighted positively. We have comprehensive net expansion. Jesus. That's clean. Also, get your altcoin comments in. BCH, ABC, and Litecoin. I'll do those after I do Bitcoin. Is it Friday? It's Saturday. It's the weekend. Alright, trying to remember what the trend line he drew was. We gotta go back to the front page. Okay, yeah. Cool. Christ, that is so arbitrary. I have to, like, do it backwards just to line up what he's thinking. Watch this. Alright, here's what he's doing. This feels so arbitrary. And you know what the worst part is? Is he's right. Because this is the 3.2 standard deviation of the LOX, and that's going to trigger correctly. Actually, I'm happy I decided to take the time to look at this chart, because if this is technically the swing high of Bitcoin dominance, that'll be significant. Which does mean altcoin season. Either Bitcoin needs to go down or altcoins need to go up. And I predict that Bitcoin's going to go sideways and altcoins are going to go up. You know, unless we break our major mean reversion pivot. I want to immortalize this, so we're going to record. I don't know. We're going to close this. Let's try again. Hello! So, we have our longest overexpanded period, which is defined by this plume of mass here using 3D Wave PM. And usually when you tag the 3.2 standard deviation of your longest overexpanded period, well, it's going to be a more reliable signal than, say, just the regular 3.2 standard deviation on an arbitrary period. Why? Because you are assuming there is excessive distributional width for the definition of the range. Okay? In lay terms, what I'm saying is this is an extreme value objectively. Alright, you have very wide data sets, and because you have wide data sets, extreme values in wide data sets end up being more accurately coined extreme than, say, simply overbought. So Bitcoin dominance, we do have implications of either short-term reversal or compression. And that means Bitcoin either needs to go sideways or down. And sideways, defining Bitcoin, is like 20% upside, which is critical. I'll show you what I mean. Okay. Oh my god, are my buys gonna fill? Oh, I'm so excited. Actually, yeah, my stop loss was like $5 away. I got really lucky on that wick. This is why you always use mark price to set your stop triggers instead of actual price. Yeah, because that little volatility pop can kill you in over-leveraged markets, especially on over-leveraged exchanges, you know? The higher available leverage on an exchange, the larger you can expect the wicks to be, all right? If you look at the Binance USDT chart, you're not going to get that many wicks. Why? Because it's an unleveraged market and people manage their money correctly. On BitMEX, you got people who are 100x with stop losses of 0.5%. So what happens when they stop out? Well, you just get market stops begetting market stops, and it's just a torrential downpour of market orders. It's a really good business model, I'm going to admit. Like, if you're a fee-based exchange, you want to let people use as much leverage as possible because that just ups their fees, especially because higher leverage encourages people to use market orders. If you use market orders, you pay the taker fee instead of the maker fee, which is significantly higher. So it's really in the best interest of the exchange to do that. That in mind. This guitar solo is a bit much. I'm gonna skip it. Need to find a better playlist. Except I really like this song. Hold on, I'm turning that up for myself. I don't care if it actually was for you guys. And yes, this is copyright-free music. Don't report this. What am I doing? Christ, I have so much ADD. Okay, Bitcoin. Let's define our longest overexpanded period, right? It's 605. So we got the 605 period loaded. This is technically just 600, but I mean, it's less than a 1% difference, so who cares? This is our retracement value, this little dippy dip right here. I have buy orders layered from current price, like exactly current price, just 11100 all the way down to 10800. So that little buy range is going to treat you really well. Do expect a volatility pop to the downside. You know, price volatility will be high at key pivots. First time you've ever heard me say that before. Let's look at the lower time frames, because we have that compressionary range on the 1 hour chart from this excessive mass, which I'm going to guess is 110 if I recall correctly. Let's take a look. No, it's 60. Okay. Also, cool aspect of ACAT happening here. Price will trade laterally as defined by the longest overexpanded period. And guess what? That applies for the bottom edge of the band as well. So typically when you get mean reversion conditions, you're just forced to bet down to the mean. But if selling pressure is strong enough, you can actually have price go down to the bottom edge of the locks. And, well, that's a really good buy order as well, because the slope of probability volatility is in your favor, right? Because if you are taking a short, but the slope of probability volatility is up, that means your stop loss needs to be constantly raised to accommodate for changing price, all right? So when we actually get this kind of rapid downward expansion and we touch the bottom edge of the locks, right, the positive slope of probability volatility actually enable us to take higher probability positions. Why? Because our stop loss moves up with price. Or more accurately, with the slope of probability volatility. It's really clean. Anyway, I would like to look at the 60 period on the 1 hour chart so we can define that range trading. To my understanding, actually it doesn't even matter anymore. right? You want to know why? Because our longest overexpanded period has returned below the 0.7 value. Once your longest overexpanded period does return to a state of relative compression, it allows for trend continuation because the market has restored to a relative state of potential energy. And I say relative because it's necessary for that period alone and for all periods below it. However, volatility overhead is still applicable in these scenarios. What does that mean? All right. Because we can have expansion in all these lower periods, but expansion in the higher periods are difficult, we can accurately define ranges to bet on compression. In other words, it makes a green box, and we can trade the green box. Yeah. So if we tag this 3.2 standard deviation down here, which is going to be a 10944, that's going to be a really good bet. Like, oh my god. I might just move all my buy orders right on that 3.2. So that's clean. Just be aware if we do break the lower low, that's going to be comprehensive expansion to the downside. That's bad. Right? Because we need to talk about that mean reversion pivot. It's the 605 on the daily. You have any idea how far away that is? Alright, like, first of all, this wave PM cross is going to be brutal because we have a downward weighted CCI. And if that does expand to the downside, your target is going to be 7,900 initially. The mean is going to raise. It's going to get higher and higher. And if that happens, well, so does your target. That's what I wanted to say about Bitcoin. It's a really clean chart. I'm happy with it. Yeah, with a 15-minute chart, we do have a nice wave PM reading, which does imply short-term reversal. Man, this might be the exact bottom of Bitcoin for the next 2 years, and that's spooky to think about. Let's just immortalize this moment, because if I'm right, I'm going to come back to this. This right here, this little dip, might be the exact bottom of Bitcoin for the next 2 years. I kind of just want to take like $100 and go 100x. Probably like 50x. Right here, and then just leave it open for months. See what happens. Probably get stopped out, probably get liquidated. But it's nice to think about. Pay for a vacation or some new flamingo shirts. Dobie, no, don't leave me. Alright, he's gone. I guess I'm picking up the guitar instead. That's it. Good morning, Starshine. The Earth says hello. Hey, folks, I would like you to give me altcoins to look at. I know I need to look at BCH ABC. And Litecoin. I have this in drop D tuning on an acoustic, so it sounds a bit goofy. Hey, yeah, we still got that downward expansion. It's really clean. Again, ask your altcoins. Show me what you got. I'm going to read this long comment by a cat with charts. He's probably right. Yeah, essentially he's saying he's not comfortable using a cat on excessively derivative information. That's fair. I can agree with that. We're going to look at Litecoin. Yeah. Do we have any macro level mean inversions happening? It'd be nice. Four-hour locks is... I'm going to use the lower resolution one. Might be better. Yeah, it is. Trend is still defined as down. Quad CCI is your best bet. LCP. Both are good. BCHABC. Oh, that's a really good short entry. You can short BCH on BitMEX, right? That's really good. That's a really good short entry. Yo, what's the ticker for the BitMEX contract? I don't remember. Somebody tell me. BCH, AB, okay. Yeah, that's a really good short entry. I might try shorting this. Because we tag that LOX right there. It's a perfect trade. Actually, I'm too early to say perfect. I haven't checked the other time frames. Yeah, when you look at the daily and you want to continue shorting it, and there's not an apparent swing high, that's questionable. But it's really attractive. Just be aware that mean reversion conditions, like the pivots are 50-50. But the nice thing about these pivots, if we go down, we stay down, and if we go inside, we go up. Like, it's as close as I've ever seen to a guaranteed thing in trading. So the problem is, when you actually have to take a position, it's still just 50-50 on the pivot, right? Very clean. Hey, Kat, you have any charts you want me to look at? It's fucking hot, though, I'll tell you. Sorry for cursing. You gotta give me charts, guys. British pound, Australian dollar. Really, guys? Okay. Well, I'm just going to record arbitrary analyses, wow, on random coins. So that sounds fun. We're going to do BNB. In fact, we're just going to record a trading view idea for everything on here and just release them all at once. Okay? Ah! Oh, God. I'm wearing shorts. Sorry. Let's do it. Start on the 4 hour. Good morning, everybody. It's actually afternoon, sorry. Anyway, let's talk about BNB and its potential trend continuation. We do have a little bit of volatility overhead on the longest over expanded period there. So ACAT is reading out as maxed out, which is incorrect. We are actually going to manually define our longest over expanded period to correctly identify our trend pivots, right? We're going to open up the data window so we get it quick and easy. Looks like we're looking at the 220 or the 200. Actually, this is already defaulted to 200, isn't it? That's very nice. But the pivot is not being respected. Goodness gracious. Because we actually had the activation of the long condition there. Hold on. Perhaps perhaps there's something I'm not understanding. Ah, okay. Well, that was a simple answer. So if we have excessive trending, like so, and I just want to point this out, I actually had a long on BNB here, and I stopped out here, and then I re-entered here. And if you have a bearish mean inversion condition on a macro time frame, bullish mean inversions on micro time frames are more inclined to fail. In which scenario, you go to lower time frames and you just use quad CCI for short entries. So every time there's a 14-period CCI roll down, you take a short, right? As long as you have significant weighting on your other CCI periods. Clean and simple. So where the 1 hour chart goes, I think we're having significant compression here. Yep. Every value is apparently below 0.7, almost there for the 200 as well. Which is really good for predicting directions of trend. So every time you see one of these blue spaces on the 3D wave PM, that implies high potential energy. And as soon as you have all your CCI periods weight themselves to the same side, it accurately predicts trend before the breakout even happens. So here, for instance, every CCI period weights itself negatively. All right, so right there, all right, this candle. Well, we're still in the flag, right? We're still in the compressing range, but we know this is a bearish break because there's comprehensive net expansion to the downside, and every CCI period is weighted the same way, and there's high potential energy. Simple as that. And you can do this anywhere, on any time frame. It's really nice. And of course, you also have the reversal options, where if everything is red, that means there's low potential energy for the direction that there has been trend, which implies reversal. Typically, it works out pretty well. And we actually have this mean inversion condition here on the 160. We could just load ACAT. Although, I'll be honest, the conditions pretty much evaporated, so there's not much predictive value left there. Anyway, that's BNB. Thank you for watching. All right, what's next? I'm just going to do all the coins. Good morning, everybody. That's actually anyway, let's talk about BNB. We'll check out USD CAD and make a trade call for that as well. Not a call, but an idea. Waiting for it to load. Let's do it. I was told this is a good chart. What do you like about this, cat? I don't understand. Damn it. I don't have anything to say about this yet. Okay, why do you like this chart? I'm not seeing it, man. Like, all I see is a trend, and we have the swing low of the trend. And we have no defining pivots on the 4-hour chart. Okay, so that's a very clean 4-hour net expansion with local compression pivots. Short the first confluent backtest. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, I agree with you. Yeah, so you're saying when we tag the 1.25 of the LUX and the 1.25 of the LCP, that's a short entry. Yeah, that's good, man. I agree with you. That is really nice and confluent. All right, let's try re-recording that. I thought you meant like where the price was right now. I'm like, I don't see it. But now I see it. You're talking about in the future, on the right side of the chart. Okay. This chart was pointed out to me by a cat with charts. Let's point out the relevant pivot. So, confluence is really good when trading Forex markets. The more confluence you have, the better, well, your trade is going to do. So, what's important to note is we have high potential energy on our 3D wave PM, which implies that any kind of expansion is probably going to trend significantly. Now, what's particularly nice about this is it has defined a nice range of volatility overhead, right? This pivot, as shown here on the 3D wave PM, is represented by this green band. And so far, it has been extremely well respected on the top edge. Now, the defining pivot for a downward trend on USD CAD is the longest over expanded period, which is going to be this here. So there is quite a bit of confluence on this particular pivot. So if we manage to retest this swing high and then see rejection, betting on that trend continuation would be quite profitable in theory. So if you see price tag between 131232 and 131351, consider that a buy. Just be aware that every day that pivot is going to get a little bit lower. So if there is a bullish volatility pop at this time, do consider a strong short entry. Okay? That's it. Thanks for watching. Very nice. Bat's really good. Let's take a look at this. Nice on Bat today. It has to do with extremely high potential energy. Now, any kind of bullish confirmation would be ideal, but there is quite a bit of confluence, at least for an implied upside. So we do have a longer term mean inversion on, I believe, the daily. And if that is bullish, that would be very good. Yeah. So there's heavily implied trend exhaustion on the daily chart to begin with. You'll notice when everything is red, that implies exhaustion. However, it doesn't mean reversal. It's very important. It can just mean that price will go sideways instead. For instance, when every value was touching above 0.9 here, we did get trend reversal, but it doesn't result in trend. It results in lateral trading, right? Because compression just restores the market to a state of potential energy. So, with that in mind, we have this really tight compression here, and we have implied upside on the lowers time frame. So, whenever you get really tight compression, like here for instance, and I'm going to draw a vertical line here, so we can take a look at it previously on the 1 hour chart, okay? And I'm going to identify the comprehensive net expansion on that line. So if there's high potential energy here, when it does result in expansion, it results in significant trend. And my goodness, that is so clean. All right, watch. Excuse the lag, I have too many tabs open. So watch this. Right, we identified the heavy compression here on the 4 hour chart. And now here on the 1 hour chart, as soon as you see every period expanding in confluence and every CCI period weighted on the same direction, it results in significant trend. So we have something similar happening over here on the 1 hour. Where we have heavy compression implied on the 4-hour chart. And now on the 1-hour chart, even though we're still in this range, all our CCI periods are weighted positively. And we're seeing the bullish wave PM cross to the upside, which implies comprehensive net expansion to the upside. Ooh, that's really good. Just something for you to think about. Okay. Just be aware, because this trade is on the 1-hour chart, I'm probably just going to expect volatility pop to the upside. And I might take partial profit there before betting on longer term trend. This is a good breakout. Just be aware that, you know, you're still betting on this huge compression range. Last time we had this signal was right here. And that did result in a %30 move. So let's actually define these buy pivots, okay? You want to buy in from here, and we'll dye that blue. Actually, let's just set some buy orders, or sell orders first. So those are our 2 take profits. And yes, I think those will do. As far as actual buy-in range, we're going to use blue line, and just from looking at the previous example, it didn't retrace all that much. So we can actually use a really tight stop on this. It should work out in our favor. Okay. And because I'm not using a cat relevantly here, we'll hide it and load up Bollinger Band Mimics. Okay. It's important to note that there already was one failed downward expansion. So there is risk, but the profit ratio is so good, it's hard to ignore. Okay? Beautiful. Okay, that's probably going to be it for today. Alright, folks, you have a good day. I'll see you later. Oh, that's the wrong hotkey, this one. There you go.